What's up, y'all? Welcome to Randomville. It is Saturday, April 18th, and we coming to you remote on the Zoom meeting. All three of us coming in, trying to give you the intro, first episode, exclusive. So we got Moses, we got John, and you got me on the mic, Chris. We're going to do this weekly podcast where we're going to try to talk about what's going on in the world and give you a little insight onto what we chat about between all of us.
Yeah, some insider.
So welcome. As you can see, John and Moses, we doing this remote. How you guys doing in that quarantine?
Chilling, man. Chilling as usual.
Drinking.
What's y'all favorite drink during this quarantine?
For me, I'm on that gin and tonic right now. A little bit of lime in it.
Yeah, what kind of gin? Because I can't find anything to cut.
You're doing the Bombay, huh?
That motherfucking Bombay. That's
Bombay.
We keep it at that $39.99 bottle. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's the big bottle too, right?
What's that?
The big bottle.
Yeah, it's shit. It's about the size of it's a little bit less than the size of a 40-ounce like Mickey's or something.
So probably like a 32.
Yeah, like a 32.
Like a 32.
Yeah. What about you guys? What y'all drinking on?
I'm on the fucking brews still. I was about to do some Japanese whiskey today, but I couldn't find a good one, so I'm doing my hazy IPAs.
Japanese whiskey?
Yeah, bro. My homies are always trying to put me up on the Japanese whiskey.
What? I never like heard that.
Yeah, it's like the new wave, I guess. But decent. I don't know. That's what they say. It's like a decent sipper.
No shit, huh?
Yeah. When I get a bottle, I'll put y'all up on it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I actually heard that a couple places. What is it, like Santori whiskey or something like that?
Santori, some other shit. I can't even fucking pronounce, but yeah. Santori is the one that they had at Trader Joe's. That's like a $40 bottle, but like on the cheaper end. So they run up like a few dollars.
Yeah, shit. All I know is that Jack Daniels, man.
that Tennessee whiskey.
Whiskey.
We got that Jack downstairs on the table. My brother be drinking it right now.
It's too common. That's why.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And y'all know if any of y'all follow me on Instagram, y'all see I'm on that Terramana tequila right now.
I've seen that.
Yeah. How is that?
So my parents and my brother call me hella ghetto because I don't name it by like the actual names. But the clear is a good mixer. I like mixing the clears with like my Coke Zero or my Sprite Zero.
Okay.
And it's actually like you could barely taste it, even if it's a grip of tequila, you still could barely taste it once you throw in a mixer. But that yellow I could sip all day.
So they have multiple levels of whiskey. Is that
you mean tequila?
Yeah, or I mean tequila. Yeah.
They got the clear and they got the yellow.
Oh, okay. So it's just two of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's so The Rock is promoting that.
Yeah. Well, it's his company, so he likes tequila.
Oh, it's his. Okay.
Yeah, and so
everybody's involved in the liquor game now.
Yeah. I've yet to, and that's why I asked about the gin, is because I know Deadpool. What's his name?
Ryan something or no?
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds, he got a aviation gin.
Okay.
And he has his own gin company, and apparently that's supposed to be really good. But no, yeah, I'm a big fan of The Rock. So when he started saying tequila, all I can remember were my days when I was first drinking, maybe 20, 21, heavy drinking, and tequila was like the go-to if we wanted to just get messed up, and crazy and wild.
We were always on that rum, man. We had a rum. It was called Hana Bay rum. It was from Maui, and there's no way that I would drink that shit again. Like, if you offered me $100 and put a shot in front of me, I would not take that shit, man. I swear to God.
A lot of shit we were drinking back then, I wouldn't drink now.
No way.
No, we used to do what was that? The Three Horsemen? Oh, the Three Wise Men? The Three Wise Men and the Four Horsemen?
What is that?
Yeah.
That's Jim, Jack, and Johnny.
Yeah.
Oh, Johnny Walker?
Johnny Walker.
Yeah. Jim, Jack, and Johnny all mixed into a bottle, equal parts, and it's just straight up. And we used to mix that in a Nestea bottle because it looks like Nestea. Oh,
that's the devil, man. That's like that 151. You guys used to fuck with that?
Oh, Bacardi 151.
Yeah. Oh,
that's
man.
what we used to fuck around with in high school.
Oh man, hell no. That's just fire, dude.
Yeah,
like,
that's
straight alcohol.
Like literally fire.
Literally, as gasoline.
Fuck that shit.
Yeah, so I'm definitely with John on that. Like some of the stuff we used to drink, I ain't never touching again. Like I would never mix those three and try to
leave that shit in the past.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. I know, for real.
So that's kind of like when The Rock said he coming out with a sipping tequila. I was like, ooh, I gotta try that because I wanted to see what it was about. So
how much is the bottle?
It's like $30-$40.
Oh, okay.
That's not bad.
It ain't like Patron, like trying to come up on a bottle for $100. When I first saw like the price for it, I was like, no, I'm gonna get me a few bottles.
Hey, yo, shout out to The Rock, man. I'm gonna have to try to
the people's champ, bro. He making drinks for the people too, man. I mean, billionaire in movies and wrestling, and let me give you a $30-$40 tequila, you know.
I know, dude.
Yeah, that's cool as hell. That's cool as hell.
I still haven't tried E40's liquor. Because remember he came out with like
he got the slurricane, and then he got the wine. He got the Earl Stevenson.
Yeah, the Earl Stevenson.
And then now he's working on a brew. He's working on a craft brew.
I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Facebook post on that.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Entrepreneur.
So, yeah, we gonna probably have to mix it up on these Zooms, and even when we start doing them in person, we'll probably have to mix them up and try some of these all three at the same time, you know.
Yeah, that's definitely cool, man. I honestly think it'll be a little bit of a trend, you know, because of what's going on and all that, you know, with the virus.
Yeah. So other than the alcohol, what are y'all doing to keep yourself sane?
Oh man, I mean, besides being hooked on the phone a little bit too much, watching some entertainment, worked on a project. You know, I made that little greenhouse you guys saw.
Oh yeah.
On my IG. Yeah, trying to like this whole quarantine situation kind of put me back in the islands in the sense of like self sustainability, you know what I mean? And trying to just even if it's just little things, like I just made a greenhouse. It's like a 4x6 or something like that, and it's enough, you know, to show my kids something, you know, just a little project to do during these times. Because I mean, this is kind of a test, you know, to people. Like, are you really like in tune with your human self and your creativity and all that, or like are you just stuck on the go economy, you know? You're kind of learning some shit about yourself, you know, and I'm kind of just going with it, you know, like, oh, like if I ain't doing this, then I got to do something, you know what I mean? And
no, I think it speaks volumes because you know, I see a lot of memes go out, but one of the truest ones I saw was a meme that says you either gonna come out 50 pounds heavier and even more of a bum, or you're gonna come out and you're gonna learn something about yourself. And,
100.
Yeah, and so it's just kind of like, you know, and it's not even having to be able to do things with your hands or projects or anything like that. It's like, what are you doing right now for yourself, for your family, for your kids. Because I know I seen John on that IG showing them kids how to throw them hands. So I'm like,
Yeah, that's what I'm doing, dude.
I know they be I know they all the kids be wrestling at those family parties. So I'm like, I need to start showing my kids how to throw some. So
right?
Yeah. I mean, luckily they're like really interested in it. You know, like Jalen especially, like he's been asking to box like every night. So
that's
anything I could teach him, like it'll be straight. Like, cause they're not doing much like physical wise. I'm not taking them outside really.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they gotta get the exercise somehow.
Yeah, you definitely gotta get them out there, and even if it's just how to throw the right jab, bro. It's
yeah, exactly. That's the first thing. That's
something.
We're still on the jab. We're just on the jab right now.
Yeah,
that's the one.
Yeah,
yo, that's the one that's gonna lead you, bro.
I'm blue in the hand right here.
Yeah, keep it up, man.
Yeah, got that pool noodle smacking them.
Yeah, dude, exactly. You can leave that hand down, man down.
Yeah. So that's good. That's good. I don't know y'all saw on IG today, but I'm trying to make some office space, and I bought a solid core door, and that's gonna be my desktop. Go. Yeah. So I kind of had to sand that down and get that all stained up today. It's in the garage drying right now, but
nice.
I was just kind of looking at all the stuff that they had, like at IKEA and Walmart, and then other things, other places, and the furniture just looked crappy, bro. Like,
oh yeah,
like it looked like stuff that's gonna fall apart in like a year, and I'm like, yo, whatever I buy right now, like that's my desk for life. Like it's gotta last me forever.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. That's right.
So I was kind of like, I'm gonna look up some ideas, and I saw this guy say, "Hey, just buy a solid door." Like it's
man.
huge.
That's what it comes down to, man. Because that is like the perfect size for a desk.
Yeah.
Like if you think about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a door, and
especially we be doing this a lot more. I'm gonna need a lot of space to have some equipment on it. So
yeah, exactly. I've been thinking about the same thing.
So, all right.
Sorry.
John's on the move. John's on the move.
have to kick people out.
Oh, it's all good. Oh, look at that face. Let her know we ain't cutting that.
Yeah.
That's gonna be on YouTube. All right. All right. Well, I'm glad y'all keeping safe and keeping sane. That's the main thing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, just jump straight from that, because obviously this whole pandemic, which by the way, if we're gonna post this on YouTube, we can't say the words, but this whole situation that we're in is our current events. So just right off of that, we're gonna talk about some of our favorite things to start off with is sports. So let's talk NBA. There was reports that I've seen on Future Report that they might start up a little bit before the summer, but it lead into the summer. I'm not taking anybody's word for anything, but what do y'all think are the chances that we get the finish up of the season?
We're talking about like no audience, right? They were talking about the no audience thing.
Yeah, and I'm not even caring about the audience thing. It sucks for the players, but I'm just talking about.
I mean, there's always
some games.
There's always going to be an audience via a television.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? So that's kind of, but it's on the players. You know what I mean? That's how I see it.
No, but I get it. But okay, so something you guys might not watch, but I tuned into. WrestleMania was free this year, and it was like a couple weeks ago.
I heard about that.
But all the wrestling shows, they've been going on with no audience.
Yeah.
Now you're talking about a business that solely relies on audience. And they're playing all this, and trust me, the rest is worse. So
terrible, man.
So related that, some of the hype on watching games on TV, I get hype is seeing the crowd, right?
Yeah.
Crowd reactions.
Yeah. Like Kevin Hart on the sideline of like a Sixers and Lakers game or some shit,
Yeah, or just let's say Clippers and Lakers playing each other, right? And LeBron go to the foul line. Like the audience, I mean, the crowd is in it.
Yeah. Who's gonna be talking shit? Yeah.
And you can hear it on TV. You can hear it.
Yeah.
I'm watching, TNT, and I can hear it on TV. And so
I think I honestly think at this point, since like it's so far in to the like late season,
You're killing me, bud.
they have to finish out the playoffs. I mean, it's like, I mean, regardless if there is a crowd or not, if it was playoff time, it would still be some competition up in that motherfucker because they got something to play for, and it isn't the crowd necessarily. It's actually the ring. It's actually the postseason play. But I mean, how much weeks was left in the season when they cut it out? It was like 3 weeks, right?
I want to say like 3 or 4 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah. So they have to play out those 3 or 4 weeks because I know there's teams who are relying on that 8th seed and that 7th seed.
Yeah.
And those last games count. You know what I mean? And I know, I mean, regardless, the 7th and 8th seeds are probably not. They're not going to put up against the Clippers and Lakers. You know what I mean? They're not going to put up against the Bucks. But they have to have some closure. Like, I mean, I got to agree with what LeBron said. You got to have some closure to this because you can't just leave it off.
Yeah, like, what are they going to do? Like, this season didn't count? Like, where did those
exactly.
go? Like,
It's a weird situation, man. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, I want to see some basketball.
I want to see some basketball. I would love to see a basketball without a crowd. Like right now, like I can't take any more throwback games. Like watching these historic games is cool.
I know.
I seen Bill Russell today. I seen Bill Russell.
running down the court in short shorts.
Yeah, short. Black and white videos.
Yeah, man. I can't do without it right now. Like it would. Let's see.
Stop,
it's one of those things where it would actually make the quarantine a little bit better because it'd give me something to look forward to on like a Tuesday or a Friday. Seeing a game on
That's
TV.
what I'm saying. I mean, like test these players before they come in the gym, and fucking go to work.
Do everything.
Put it on.
Yeah. Just
put it on. You're gonna get paid
necessary.
for it. Man,
I'm good with that. Like you have the right idea. Test them as they come in, right? As a team, see if they come, and as they enter the facility, just have like a whole like spray down area. Like you just gotta get Lysol.
Like disinfectant.
Like a car wash.
But you gotta play with some latex gloves though.
Yeah.
You gotta play in a hazmat suit.
Only the coaches gotta get a hazmat suit on. No, it's good. I'm saying it's about the NBA can't lose too much money, and if they just make the season not count, that's a lot on them. You talk about just alone on the TV viewing and the merchandise, not selling finals, playoffs gear.
Yeah,
gonna lose a lot. So I don't think they hold out. I think they do find a way to do it without the audience.
Yeah, and it's just like, I mean, really, it just relies on like the testing and knowing if these players have, like a virus or not. You know what I mean? And if not, like if you do, then you're out for what is it? Is it 2 weeks?
14 days.
2 weeks.
Yeah, 14 days. You can't play. You get tested again, and you can play the next game if you pass. I think I honestly think it's going to continue. I mean, it's kind of crazy to say because right now, would it be the conference finals now? Or
the playoffs will start today, no?
I think the playoffs just start.
Yeah,
the playoffs would have just started today.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
because March Madness just ended.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
And then the playoffs kick in.
Yeah, man. So
what happens though? Like, all right, so let's say they do continue the season, right? And then they go on with it. are they going to keep the same schedule, or are they going to take the whole 3-4 months off?
So that's what I was gonna get to
Question.
on Moses' point about trying to continue the season.
Yeah.
I think we just, where you stood is where you stood. Like, I get it. If you were on the bubble and you were, team number 9, team number 10, and all you needed was 2 games, yeah, you might have had a chance. But I hate to take a page from Mr. Shannon Sharp, but hey, you didn't play up to this point. Hey, that's on you, right?
Wow, Skip.
Come on, Skip.
Come on, Skip.
No,
I think it starts off right into the playoffs.
Uh-huh.
And then, they just go from there. I think if you cut into the playoffs at all, it disadvantages anybody that is in those top spots. But I think when it starts back up, they get maybe a couple weeks to prime the team to get them back into kind of game form. But it starts right at the playoffs. And what it is going to cut into like the whole kind of summer league or whatever. But I think they'd rather do that than take a full loss on the season.
Yeah. Also, I think that, like in the summertime, like you kind of got a lot going on with the 3 biggest sports, which is normally you got football that's starting up. A lot of hype is going on behind that training camp and preseason, and you also got baseball. We're kind of forgetting about baseball.
What is baseball, bro? What is baseball?
But it's huge though. For some reason, it's huge. I don't know. Don't ask me. I'm not a huge baseball fan.
America's pastime.
It's because they have great giveaways every game. They be giving away Stormtrooper dolls and beach towels every game, and that's why people.
I just want my Filipino hat.
Yeah, I got my Filipino right there. But check it out though. So you got these 3 major sports that are kind of like having like a chemical effect in the same season. You know what I mean? And it's like you have to have like a timeline where the NBA finishes their playoffs before football begins. You know what I mean? So I think if they open back up in let's say in the beginning of June, they would have enough time to maybe play out 2 more weeks of like the regular season before football begins. You know what I mean? The championship is won, and then football begins, and then it would just be great for the people. You know what I mean? Because everybody needs it, man. I feel like everybody needs that excitement right now.
I feel you on that.
Yeah, I definitely think like having professional sports, and you know what? And on that note, I can't stand people that talk about professional athletes not making as much as like doctors and nurses.
Yeah.
I get it. There's a lot of medical people in our family. There's a lot of nurses. There's a lot of people in that field. I get it. They are important. But you can't compare the two, right? I mean,
no, it's
a different market.
Yeah,
different market.
It's a different market, man.
There's those people posting like, oh, and how essential are those NBA players? I'm like, well, honestly, staying at home and waiting for something to happen. If I had an NBA game to look forward to, maybe I wouldn't be so antsy. Maybe I wouldn't be so uptight.
Mental health, man.
Right? That's what I'm saying.
Mental health, man. Yeah. No, but that's real though. That is reality. And you got to think, man, these players are basically serving game to the rest of the country. You know what I mean? They're selling their game.
The world, bro. The world.
Or I mean the world. Yeah, exactly. Like, you're getting views from the world. So like it's like El Chapo up in this motherfucker selling drugs to the rest of the world. Like,
El Chapo is essential.
Yeah.
El Chapo and the NBA is essential.
Not anymore.
Hey, if the boba spot next to my pad is open right now, like NBA players should be playing right now. Dude.
That's right.
Like nobody needs Boba right now. Like Boba's not essential.
For real, man.
Rose texted me. She said, "You think Jack in the Box is serving milkshakes when I get off of work?" I was like, "You get off of work at 11 p.m. Does it even matter? Like, what does it even matter?" No. But I get it. Like, what's essential? It's just
like what's the lining between that? Like, what makes you essential? What makes you not essential?
Yeah, exactly.
Man.
There's no definition. That was just
like
some word they
Petco's
threw out there.
and shit. Like,
Hey, you know what it reminds me of? You know what that word reminds me of? Essential. It kind of reminds me of like load management. You know?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's like what does that mean?
When did these terms start becoming like they're like
everybody believing it? Like they don't know what it is, but they believe
put
it.
a word out there.
I remember what was that? It was the Spurs or something. We're talking about load management. Were they like popping them? They weren't flying people out, and they were talking about load management. And I was like, "What is this load management?" And all of a sudden, the next season, everybody's load management.
Everybody. But now, before this virus thing had happened, you didn't really hear it for like the last month or so. You didn't really hear the load management word anymore because everybody, even the Hall of Famers, it was mainly the Hall of Famers who were bashing that because they were like, "What the fuck is that?" Like,
no. It's
like lunch. What the fuck is that? Like,
well, lunch break
all day, baby.
To the current players' defense, the current players play a lot more games than what they used to play. So, If you give them the load management games off, it kind of equals out to what they used to play.
And you gotta think, man. You gotta think behind those curtains. Like, put your feet in a pair of fucking Jordan 11s on an NBA team and have a fucked up knee, but knowing that you can play, but taking that risk because you feel like this motherfucker's gonna pop out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
no. You definitely want to
like, you're probably gonna tell your coach, like, "Hey, like my knee doesn't feel good, dude." And he's probably gonna take it to the doctor. Doctors gonna look at it like load management. You know what I mean? Like, let's put him on hold. And I guess that word got out and everybody bashed the fuck out of it.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. So, I mean, I understand too, but as a fan, I like seeing the dogs go against the dogs, And, like hurt or not, you know what I mean?
Minus all that shit.
Flu game, whatever it is. Exactly. Like that shit is lovely to watch,
All I'm saying is if the Clippers, the Lakers, Milwaukee, if they playing Memphis, let's go ahead and load Memphis. Let's take a load management. The Heat, let's take load management. But if the Clippers are playing the Lakers, if the Bucks are playing, the Clippers, any of these big teams, these number one, not top four teams playing each other, you got to play the whole team. You got to play the whole squad.
Yeah, that's definitely it's part of the competition now.
Yeah,
it's part of the competition now.
I just don't like hearing the stats afterwards, oh, but what's his name didn't play.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like there's always gonna be an excuse whenever load management comes up. It's oh, they blew him out, but it's oh yeah, that's without what's his face though. I always hear that shit now. Every time.
Yeah, he was resting. Yeah.
Yeah, he was resting.
Yeah, it makes for some whack.
I'm not a fan of it. I'm a fan of maybe if you're gonna, it's like football. You don't pick the players that are gonna be in good teams because towards the end they end up resting them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then they don't end up putting up the numbers like they would.
Yeah, it comes to fantasy. Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
Hella relate the two.
Yeah. All right. Going off the topic of sports and money, obviously Jalen Green, high school #1 prospect,
Baller.
He would rather go G League than play for the NCAA, so he can make that money for 1 year, and then move out and get paid in the NBA. What's y'all take on that?
He see, the thing about it too is that he can actually play in the G League and go to college at the same time. So that, I mean, if you ask me, in this day and age, the way that people get in debt with these medical like degrees and all that, if you're a baller, and he's a baller, man, I haven't been watching his highlights, but I watched his highlights probably like this past week because I heard his name buzzing. That kid is a baller, man, and he's gonna go to that G League and he is gonna set a new trend. I can almost guarantee that. I'm not
the hugest ball fan, man, but what's the youngest one's name?
Melo.
Is it Melo?
I mean, Jello or something.
Jello, something. Whoever the youngest one is, the one that's in Italy.
Yeah.
His
the
own
one
team.
that owns the team, right? Like he owns.
Yeah, he just bought the team he plays for. Yeah.
LaMelo. Yeah.
LaMelo, right? LaMelo.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Me neither.
I'm not a ball fan, but I think that kid could ball. I think he could ball. I'm not saying he's gonna be the next LeBron. I'm not gonna say he's the next Jordan. I don't even say he's the next, D Rose or anything. I'm not even saying he's the next All Star, but he can play ball. But it just goes to show you, like he didn't take college. He went to go play overseas.
Yeah, alternative route.
Yeah,
alternative route.
And it worked out for him. And it worked out for him, right?
It definitely did. I mean, look now, like, he bought that team out too. Like he's got a plan B. He didn't even go to college.
The worst part about it is the NCAA is going to make the NBA change the rules. Like if you don't play college ball, you have to wait 2 years or something like that. I feel it.
Oh, that's a good point. That is a good point because they're not gonna like that.
Yeah, they're not because they're gonna lose. Because guess what? Guess what gets more ratings now? G League. G League more ratings. People are gonna start watching G League. People are gonna pay for G League passes.
Yeah,
because that's technically where all the ballers go. Because they're gonna see this dude play it for a year and go to the draft and get picked. Top 5 pick, and people are gonna be like, I could do that. I could play in the G League.
Yeah, man. That is crazy, man. There's a lot of other. Actually, no. There's only one other player. He's a prospect going into college. Well, not even going into college, but he is actually going to commit to the G League as well on the same team as Green.
Oh, really?
So he's following him. He's following him there.
The G League gonna have to change up their rules. Yeah, the G League they're gonna have to change. They're gonna have to have a draft out of high school.
I'm like, how are these kids picking teams?
How are they committing, right?
Yeah. The G League is gonna have some rules. They're gonna have to say we're gonna have a draft of all new players.
Yeah, it's funny. I feel like the G League is full of like janky promoters. You know what I mean? like they don't talk about them. You know what I mean? Like they don't talk about the promotion of it. They only talk.
You never seen it. You never seen like too much of the G League, bro.
I feel like it's some like you're like a drug dealer on the side, and then like a coach, like an AAU coach. Like
they're selling bootlegs at fucking Food for Less parking lot.
Selling candy bars in the front of Walmart.
32 years old. Talking about support my team.
Talk about we trying to go to Washington for the
playoffs. We got a championship. We got to travel for.
We need jerseys.
We trying to hold a basketball camp.
Oh shit, that's funny.
But I definitely believe the NCAA is gonna make some rule changes just because that's a lot of money they're gonna lose out on.
Oh
But
yeah.
I feel like even if like players go to NCAA, they somehow get financed either way, dude.
Oh no,
They're getting
that's that.
paid. You know what I mean? It's not like
That's
guaranteed money like a G League. Like that's a check.
that's
But
that's homework for y'all. All right, I asked y'all this week. Y'all need to go watch Blue Chips. It's all about players getting paid while they there.
Is
and
that
who's
a
in Blue Chips?
That was Shaq
Is
and
Nick
Penny.
Nolte? Huh?
Yeah, Nick Nolte. Yeah,
Nick
and
Nolte? Okay. I think
Shaq,
I
Penny, and
remember.
Nick Nolte. Yeah.
chips?
Yeah, it's all about them players trying to get paid in college. That's and no, these players, something is giving them kickers. You know, I don't care if they call it booster or whatever. They're getting paid. There's no way because okay, so my youngest brother Taylor, he went to NAU on full ride, and my mom was still buying him like top ramen. She was still bringing him care packages. And then I see some of these cats walking around in brand new J's. They got the flyers. They wearing Supreme sweatshirts. I'm like, I know that thing costs $1,500.
Yeah.
So I know at some colleges these kids are still getting paid to play, but
They have to.
But they know there's a lot more potential out there. Like only the smart ones can see like, yo, if I go to G League, not only can I make my own paycheck, and I don't have to be quiet about it, but I can get an endorsement deal.
That's true, but I wonder like what the average is on a G League check. You know what I mean? Like, cause I heard.
I don't think it's much. I don't
right?
think like I think it's like like kind of like me, like equal to me, like an HVAC technician. You know what I mean? Like it's like almost like a regular day job, but just a little more than working at a grocery store kind of thing.
Yeah, but
dude, I heard what's his name? Remember that dude Ingram that played for the Lakers?
Yeah.
Like I heard a stat about like what he was getting paid, like probably like $50K a year. If anything.
Yeah,
like,
a year, right?
You know what I mean? Like
he played in the G League for 10 years, dude.
Yeah, but it was
For
a steady
10
check
years.
for him.
For 10 years.
You know what I mean?
For
It was a
10
steady
years.
check. For 10 years.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. But
you gotta love that story though.
Yeah, I mean,
I think when he got called up, wasn't he like at his normal job? Wasn't he at like a grocery outlet or something?
Something like that, yeah.
No, that was Moses.
Something like that.
I think it was the same kind of story though. Like he was
not
at
Kurt Warner,
job.
right? Wasn't Kurt Warner like some shit like that? He was like a bagger.
Warner, can you pass me the oh yeah, that's right, huh?
Kurt
yeah.
It was a bagger.
No, yeah. Same thing.
Sick.
So
shit, I was about to make a point too, man. I got caught up.
Got distracted.
Yeah, I got distracted.
You're distracting the viewers with what you're doing right now.
I know, man.
I can see the comments right now. I can see that comments right now. At 45 minutes.
You know what I'm about to do, right? You guys know what I'm about to do, right?
We in Cali. It's all good.
So you know what the fuck going on.
Randomville, California, baby.
What it do, baby?
All right. So from Kurt Warner, let's spin off our last sports topic. The NFL, they're doing a virtual draft. Draft. Now, if any of our viewers are fantasy football players, we can relate to what a virtual draft is. How much alike do y'all think this is going to look like a fantasy football virtual draft if you're using like Yahoo Sports?
Man, it's going to be pixelated.
If it's anything like our fantasy draft, it's going to crash about 4 times.
It's going to be interesting though, man. It's something that I'm craving. I mean, to be honest, I mean, I don't care what it comes in. You could put in a newspaper and I'd read that motherfucker and get entertained, you know. But I mean, really, when it comes down to it, you got to think about the players and the teams, and all they care about is being drafted. They don't give a fuck about how well this draft is gonna go or how it's gonna look
or if I get to parlay or anything like that.
Exactly. Yeah, you can't worry about that. Yeah, so it's
half of them don't care. They ain't got to go and buy a nice suit. They could just sit at home on the couch.
Exactly, man. But it's gonna be interesting to see, man. It's definitely gonna be interesting to see. It's gonna be interesting to see where Tua ends up most off, man. I think it's gonna be a situation. It's kind of he's up and down, man. I've been up and down with Tua, man. I love him, and then I'm like, damn, man, I don't know about this guy. And then I see a video of him. What was it? His pro
that
day.
One that you guys sent the other day?
Yeah, his pro day film. That was dope, man. And then all of a sudden I heard that he's got these other like problems with his ankle, and I was just like, damn, man. I mean, as like a Chargers fan, which I'm pretty sure you guys feel the same way when it comes to injuries. We don't want to have anything to do with that shit.
We're too familiar with it.
Yeah, that shit is too common, man.
Too common.
The only good thing is we would be used to it. So if he got drafted and he's like, I can't play this season, it would be like, well, that's par for the course.
We're used to it.
we
as
would
expected.
The best,
Yeah, I was expecting you to play, next year anyway. So
yeah, exactly.
If it's not a holdout, it's an injury.
Oh, and that holdout worked out very well for Melvin, didn't it?
Oh, it definitely did,
ain't nobody wanted him.
Definitely did, man. I don't think he feels good about that, man. What do you guys think? I mean, I don't think he feels. I honestly think that it messed up his football like emotion and passion in the league, and it's like it didn't pull it down, but it like affected it. Like
his game wasn't right. Like after that.
Yeah, that's something that now like you're mixing business with your passion for football. You know what I mean? And winning games and like chemistry with people, and now it's just a business to you. A lot of teams are gonna look at that like, oh, this guy's just a businessman. He's not. He's not a team player.
No, I get it when a proven player wants to get that contract, that wants to get that extension. When a proven player, asks for that, on a franchise person, on a franchise player, I'm all for it. I don't even care. You could be a franchise player for the Raiders, but if you've proven yourself, and they want to give you the bag, that's you. Like, but he ain't play a full season since he started with us.
Yeah.
Right? He had some good seasons.
Yeah.
Could he
definitely.
be great? Yeah, but you got to put all that talk behind you, and you got to play a full season. You got to play. You got to go out there and show the team why you deserve that money.
Yeah, what you're worth. And if he was worth it this year,
he would have got signed.
He would have got the bag.
Yeah.
But Eckler got the bag, baby.
Eckler
is an animal, bro.
Shout out to Austin Eckler. I know he got a live stream going right now. So
baby.
If we ever cross over and we get to get you on Zoom or even in the house to do a podcast, Austin, we gonna be so hyped up. I'm gonna buy jerseys. I'm gonna buy jerseys for the whole team and the spouses. Just show us up.
That'd be fire.
All right. Now let's move on to our last segment, Controverse Corner. We're gonna play some games at the end of every podcast. One of those one's gotta go or pick your starting five or who beats who, rank these items, those kind of things, or even we gonna debate on what the best thing on like Netflix is right now. But this week, as on episode 1, we're gonna do one's gotta go. We all kind of grew up in the same era as far as music, so we're going to do one's got to go, top hip-hop groups. I'm going to give you 4 groups. You let me know who you're going to keep, who you're going to let go. The rule is, if you get rid of them, you get rid of their whole body of work. So for groups, every member, you get nothing from them. Whether they produced, whether they moved on, anything like that, it's all gone. You wipe it out.
Okay.
So our 4 groups, we're going to go with the Wu-Tang Clan. Throw up that Wu Wu-Tang is for the children, so we gonna keep the Wu-Tang Clan in there. We gonna get that the oddball outcast, the AT-aliens. All right.
I like it.
We gotta go for one of those generational talents with the Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Okay.
And the last one we gonna throw in a variable here, and we gonna throw in the Fugees. All right. Now Fugees themselves, you might say, oh, they didn't give us that much, but you think about it, you get rid of Fugees, you lose
Lauryn Hill,
you lose Wyclef. So
yeah.
All right. Let's start with the number one keeper. Go ahead, John. What's your number one keeper?
Oh man, my number one keeper is Outkast, man. Gots to be.
Why you keep Outkast, man? Why Outkast?
Outkast, man. I mean, we got you got Big Boy, big name in the ATL, man. Did a lot, dude. Did a ton of music. Inspired me growing up. You know, listening to stuff. I was all in, to his beats and all that. And then you got the Andre 3000, which is my man. I mean, lyrically, he's one of the best to ever do it, man. I mean, and also because the other groups, I mean, man. I mean, that was kind of my era, like my prominent era. It was Outkast era, because I know you guys are a little older than me. Just by a couple of
why
years,
you put us on blast? I already showed the gray hair, bro. Damn.
I don't see no gray hair.
Why you age shaming me?
Yeah, why you age shaming me? We gonna get flagged. We gonna get flagged on YouTube for this.
That was my area, and I'm kind of predicting where you guys are going.
Let's see. All right, John. Who's your number one?
All right, because of the rule of like the body of work, like you'd be getting rid of all their body of work, I'm keeping Wu-Tang.
Wow.
You gotta think about it. You gotta think about all the bodies of work that that they have. They got Method Man, they got ODB, right? And they got Ghostface Killer, they got Raekwon.
Yeah, RZA.
Like those are all RZA, they got all the bars.
So
and
I'm with John.
Get rid of all that talent.
I'm with John. My number one is the Wu. Right.
Yeah. I gotta go
you never have the Dave Chappelle skit where the Wu go to China.
Oh yeah.
Wait, no, Asians. You never have the Dave Chappelle skit where the Wu go to Asians.
The racial draft.
I'm gonna let you know. I bought How High on DVD. All right. I bought How High on Blu-ray.
Oh yeah, it goes to movies too.
I bought How High on digital because I love How High. That movie, I can die laughing at every time. I know almost every line of that movie. I can still laugh at it. But if I gotta lose Meth and How High, that would be one of, as far as entertainment, one of the biggest things I lose, because that is one of my top movies of all time.
It's just so like they just cover a lot of things, like past music is just
and
a lot of shit that they cover. So given the body of work having to be given up, man, I couldn't give it up.
Yeah, and their music speaks for themselves. Their music. ODB walking on stage saying Wu-Tang is for the children. I mean, a lot of people grew up on Wu-Tang. Enter the 36. That was just like kind of opened, even and as a West Coast kid, that kind of opened my eyes to what was happening on the East Coast as far as hip hop.
Yeah, exactly. Like I love West Coast, like everything about West Coast, but yeah, Wu-Tang definitely big influence.
Yeah, man. Also too, they were hella big into the comic world too.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, and it was and RZA making martial art movies and
exactly. Yeah.
Meth was in Luke Cage on Netflix.
Oh,
that's right, he was.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, when it comes to body of work, absolutely, man.
All right. All right. So who's number 2? John. John, who's number 2? Who's number 2, John?
That's Gotta Go.
No, gotta
Or
stay. Gotta
Keeper.
stay.
Keeper. I'm going with Bone Thugs with this one.
Bone Thugs. All right.
Bone
Why you
Thugs,
keeping
because it
Bone
comes
Thugs?
so close to West Coast, right? Like, even though they were from Cleveland, it seems like the Eazy-E, like being in their, their main influence is just like the closest thing to West Coast, like that's out there. And it was just like, first of the month, like.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that shit was just like a classic. Like I still bump their shit today.
Yeah. No, I'm with you on Bone Thugs. They're definitely not my number 2. So I'm gonna go number 2. I'm gonna go with Moses on Outkast.
What
Elevators. The Elevators. Elevators. The song
Okay.
Elevators. I had that on repeat. Like,
yeah. No.
And those low drum lines,
man.
when that bass hits.
I'm saying that shit was ahead of its time.
Yeah.
That's
the way to describe Outkast.
Yeah.
And to be honest, they were Southern music before there was that the New Orleans movement, before there was the South hip hop.
Yeah.
They were that hip hop. So yeah, 100% they were ahead of their time. So for my number 2, I'm gonna stick with Outkast.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Bone, like John. It's kind of a toss up though with Fugees too, because that was right around the same time too. Like,
yeah, I love the Fugees, man.
Fugees is popping, dude. That Wyclef, and then even when they broke up, like Lauryn Hill did her thing major, and Wyclef did his thing major too. You know what I mean? And there was other people in that group, but I'm not too familiar with him.
His name was Praz, and that's all I know.
No, he had that ghetto superstar. He had ghetto superstar.
Yeah.
I know he was with the Fugees though.
But ODB was in that one too.
Yeah.
ODB was in Ghetto Superstar.
Yeah.
That's right. Huh?
All right, so Moses, I got you for Outkast and Bone Thugs. John, I got you for Wu-Tang and Bone Thugs through 2 rounds. For myself, I got Wu-Tang and Outkast. So let's get Moses's cut. Who you cut, Moses? Because you're down to your last 2. You down to Wu-Tang and Fugees. Who you cutting, Moses?
Oh shit. I think I'm oh damn, man, that's a rough one. God.
This is personal preference. I don't care what the internet wants. What are you cutting?
I guess I'm cutting the Fugees, man.
Woo.
I don't know why. Something's telling me to pick the Fugees, man.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest. In my thought, both of y'all were gonna keep the Fugees, and mainly because of y'all spouses. Because I know y'all spouses digging that Lauryn Hill.
Maybe that's why.
Maybe that's why you get rid of, like, I'm so tired of listening.
Get rid of her body of work.
Let's clear that up, guys. I'm just playing.
Oh, you gotta clear that up after this go to YouTube. All right, John. Who are you cutting? Because
I gotta go with the Fugees.
I'm
cutting the Fugees, man.
It's
you know why? Because we don't know what Praz did after Ghetto Superstar.
Okay.
It's been a mystery.
I'm gonna Google him right now.
Let's Google where he's at.
Fugees Praz.
Wasn't Will I Am up in that motherfucker? No.
Nah.
Is it Fergie? Fergie?
Ooh, this is a
Tito
hard
Jackson. Tito Jackson was in
Jermaine
Jackson.
All right. Just to settle this, because I know the internet, all the Fuji fans on the internet are gonna throw us to the wolves. But after Ghetto Superstar, Praz's solo include these songs: Blue Angels, what you want to do. Another one bites the dust, but that included Wyclef. Haven't found, and I guess like 3 years ago he did one called Pump Faking.
I ain't never heard none of that.
None of them songs.
Yeah.
I think I might have heard the another one bites the dust one.
I think so too. It had the Queen beat to it, but
yeah, the Queen beat, right?
Yeah,
I think I might have heard that one.
So I'm gonna jump on the bandwagon train. 100%. I'm keeping Bone Thugs because I don't think anyone in my era of growing up did not try to memorize all the words to the Crossroads remix when that came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I mean, they already had number one hits. They had,
man,
first of the month.
First of the month.
You're talking about radio hits. They had First of the Month, For the Love of Money. But then you go and with the people who bought the albums, Thuggish Ruggers. Then they had the deep tracks. You had
and it was featuring the big names too.
Yeah, you had Mo Murder.
Notorious
Mr. Ouija.
Thugs.
I don't know why, but I love Mr. Ouija. Mr. Ouija.
Hey, but remember they both had the Tupac and Biggie on two separate songs. Remember?
On two separate tracks.
That Eazy-E.
Eazy-E.
Yeah.
Bone Thugs was just too much contribution to me growing up. So I'm gonna have to cut the Fugees. As much as I love Miss Lauryn Hill.
Sorry, Fugees.
As much as I love Wyclef, Dollar Bill. Praz is the reason why you got cut.
Praz. It was Praz.
I know, Lauryn Hill, I love your voice, ladies, but shit.
You should have picked a better third. You should have picked a better third.
Should have picked Tito.
even if she should probably pick Will.i.am. She probably made it a little
Will.i.am would have exactly. Will.i.am would have been tearing it up.
The whole Black Eyed Peas would have been good if you went over there.
All right. As far as time, we running through time. We about an hour in, so give your closing remarks. Where can we follow you at?
All right, y'all. You can follow me on IG at cathartic/1987. The name is Moses. Holla at me. Keep in touch. Keep in tune. We're gonna get this thing going. Randomville.
Hey, John. What's up? Where can we follow you at?
Don't follow me.
We keeping John on private. We keeping John on private.
Private around here.
All right, y'all. This is Chris. Man, my mouth just fell. Hey, man, this is Chris. You can follow me on IG at the real Chris Julio, all spelled out. You can follow me. That's my account. Or you can follow, I just started a IG for Randomville at Randomville_CA. So we'll be posting videos from the podcast and things that we're doing on that. And then, you'll find us under True Island Nobility on YouTube. Come check us out. And we'll be posting soon a link to our actual podcast site where you can listen to all these episodes. Anything y'all got to say before we leave?
Stay safe, y'all. Keep those masks on.
Hey, stay safe, and shout out to Baby Leia for making the mask.
Oh yeah.
All right, y'all. Y'all heard it. Y'all heard it from Randomville. Stay safe. Keep quarantine 6 feet apart. Wear masks, and keep yourself sane. All right.